dear beloved. Become aware of the fact that the atmosphere above you is alive. It is a living field that responds to your suggestions. The atmosphere above you is the body of the world. This unified field is known across ages as the ether, the akasha, and the collective consciousness. It listens. It remembers and it mirrors your suggestions. With each breath, become aware that your thoughts are emissions. They are waves of frequencies that are released into this vast, intelligent medium. Like heat rising from the earth, your intentions lift naturally into the atmosphere. They carry the signature of your emotional body. The field simply receives and reflects. Thus, financial blessing is an energy projected and mirrored back. When you project thoughts of riches, or the word dollar and overflow, those thoughts become subtle currents moving through the ether. They ripple upward, register themselves in the fabric of the field, just like sound. The atmosphere responds to attention. Whatever you consistently offer it, gratitude, trust, kindness, joy and patience, it echoes back in form. You will come to realize that wealth is a resonance, a frequency projected and mirrored back. It is an agreement between your emotional broadcast and the field's reflection. The mirror only answers. As you focus, sense the interconnectedness of all things. Your consciousness is part of the field that surrounds you. You are a localized expression of a universal intelligence, participating in the ongoing creation of reality. Every intention you project is a collaboration with the whole. Release thoughts of financial blessing upward clearly, calmly, and unforced. These intentions drift into the atmospheric field like seeds into fertile soil. The field receives them, organizes events around them, and prepares their return as opportunities, ideas, encounters, and material support aligned with your frequencies. Understand now that what you project into the atmosphere is mirrored back as experiences. By tending your emotional state, by choosing thoughts of sufficiency, alignment, and trust, you shape the patterns that return to you. The outer world is a visible echo of your invisible focus. Rest in this awareness, allow your attention to soften. Simply align with the field and it will reflect your blessings perfectly. In this communion between your thought and the atmosphere, intention and mirror, recognize yourself as both sender and receiver. You are an active participant in the subtle, responsive intelligence that shapes your reality. Begin to notice the atmosphere above you as receptive. The atmosphere itself is listening. Think of financial ease, and allow that thought to drift upward. The field will quietly prepare its reflection. Allow each exhale to carry a calm knowing of abundance into the ether. The atmosphere receives the signal and gently rearranges events to echo that knowing back to you. Allow your attention to lift, dissolving into the space above and around you. The unified field mirrors this upward focus by elevating your financial circumstances with it. As you hold the feeling of being supported, the field records that frequency. In subtle ways, it remembers, and later responds with material confirmations. Sense your financial thoughts forming atmospheric patterns. Allow clarity to shift the ionosphere and reflect calmer financial conditions into your life. Release a simple intention, I am sustained, and let it float freely. The ether catches it, turns it gently, and sends it back as aligned opportunities. In stillness, your intention grows louder than effort. The atmosphere mirrors stillness with precision, delivering resources without struggle. Feel subtle currents moving as you focus on prosperity. Though unseen, the unified field is already shaping outcomes to match your vibration. Sense that financial blessings are already echoing back to you energetically, before they appear physically, confirming the mirror is active. As your emotional dialogue shifts into trust, the field comes into agreement. Events begin to align naturally, as if the atmosphere itself has said yes. Notice the atmosphere subtly leaning in your favor as you hold abundance without urgency. This tilt becomes visible as supportive financial movement. Each thought of sufficiency leaves a trace in the ether. Over time, these traces form pathways that money and opportunity easily follow back to you. Stop seeing finances as separate from you. In unity, the field mirrors wholeness, and return experiences of consistent provision. Expect support the way you expect the sky to hold the clouds. The atmosphere reflects that certainty by releasing what is needed at the right moment. Realize the atmosphere reflects you because it is you at a subtler level. As you embody financial blessing inwardly, the field has no choice but to mirror it. The atmosphere responds automatically, faithfully, and precisely to the state of consciousness you project. What you breathe, feel, and attend to becomes the pattern the unified field reflects back as lived financial experience. Become aware that the atmosphere above you is attentive. As you rest in the feeling of financial ease, the field quietly takes note and begins shaping its reply. With each slow breath out, project a sense of being provided for. The ether absorbs this signal and prepares its reflection in the form of supportive circumstances. Allow thoughts of abundance to soften and spread upward, dissolving into the unified field, where they are instantly registered and gently echoed back. Feel agreement with financial flow, not effort, not strain. The atmosphere mirrors agreement by aligning people, timing, and resources in your favor. A calm certainty lifts within you like warm air. The field reflects that rising confidence by elevating your financial experience without force. As you hold a steady awareness of sufficiency, the atmosphere begins responding long before results appear, subtly organizing outcomes behind the scenes. Each thought of prosperity sends ripples through the ether. Though unseen, these ripples return as tangible financial movement at just the right moment. Sense the space above you gently leaning toward your intention. This tilt becomes visible as doors opening and resistance dissolving. Expect support the way you expect the air to hold sound. The field mirrors this relaxed expectation with reliable financial continuity. Imagine your financial thoughts reflected back from the sky itself. As your thoughts become generous and trusting, the reflection becomes generous and trusting too. In stillness, your intention becomes clear and unmistakable. The atmosphere mirrors clarity by delivering clean, uncomplicated financial solutions. Each moment you feel stable and secure, the ether records that frequency. Over time, it plays it back as recurring material support. Stop seeing money as separate from life. In that unity, the field mirrors wholeness, resources circulate naturally toward you. The field remembers what you repeatedly feel. As financial calm becomes familiar within you, the atmosphere faithfully recreates it as experience. Realize the atmosphere reflects you because you are already part of it. As you embody financial blessing inwardly, the mirror completes the loop. The atmosphere reflects what you repeatedly feel, breathe, and attend to becomes the pattern the unified field mirrors back as your financial reality. Become aware that the space around your body is not empty. As you rest in the feeling of being financially supported, the atmosphere subtly adjusts to reflect that state. Without effort, your thoughts of abundance begin to radiate upward. The ether receives them the way still water receives a stone, quietly, completely, and with ripples returning. Sense your financial intention resting in the sky above you. The atmosphere holds it patiently, preparing its return in tangible form. Each calm thought of sufficiency registers in the unified field. Long before money appears, the mirror has already been set. Allow the feeling of ease around money to deepen. Emotion carries the signal farther than thought alone, and the atmosphere reflects it with precision. The ether remembers every frequency you repeatedly offer. As security becomes familiar inside you, the field retrieves it as lived experience. Expect financial support gently, without strain. The mirror responds by sending confirmation after confirmation, reinforcing the loop. Notice nothing happening, and yet everything is aligning. The field works invisibly, matching circumstances to your emotional broadcast. Your calm becomes the instruction. The atmosphere mirrors calm with steady income and dependable flow. Wherever your attention settles, the field vibrates in sympathy. As you tune to abundance, the atmosphere harmonizes back. Sense financial blessings returning energetically before they appear physically. The mirror always responds first in the unseen. As you relax into trust, the atmosphere subtly leans toward you. This tilt becomes visible as doors opening without force. Repeated thoughts of prosperity carve pathways in the ether. Resources follow these paths effortless back to you. Realize the atmosphere is not separate from your mind, it is mind at a broader scale. As you think in alignment, reality responds in alignment. Recognize the cycle completing itself, you project blessing, the field reflects it, and you receive, confirming the mirror is always active. The atmosphere responds automatically, neutrally, and faithfully to the quality of consciousness you project. What you repeatedly feel and attend to becomes the pattern the unified field mirrors back as financial experience. Breathe in calm confidence and exhale financial blessing, send it upward. The atmosphere receives it, and hold it gently until it mirrors it back as supportive opportunities. The sky as your mirror. Imagine your thoughts of prosperity floating into the open sky. The atmosphere reflects them silently, returning aligned circumstances as if the sky itself has answered. Gentle waves of wealth. Your intentions ripple upward like gentle waves. Each ripple meets the universal field, which bends them back toward you as flow and financial ease. Invisible threads. Every thought of sufficiency you project is an invisible thread. The ether pulls resources along these threads back into your life effortless. The atmosphere leaning in as you project trust and generosity, the air itself seems to lean in your favor, subtly shaping events that reflect your emotional abundance. Subtle vibrations sense that each thought carries a vibration. When you vibrate with prosperity, the field vibrates in harmony, returning experiences that match your frequency. Calm expectation. Embrace calm expectation. The atmosphere mirrors that calm, bringing financial support in ways you may not yet perceive. Thoughts like seeds plants intentions of abundance into the field. The atmosphere nurtures them, and in time they return as tangible resources and opportunities. Breath as broadcast. With each breath broadcast financial blessing into the air. The atmosphere receives the energy and echoes it back in the form of synchronicities and favorable events. The reflective field. Imagine the atmosphere as a reflective pool. Your emotional state of prosperity appears on its surface and returns, amplified, into your experience. Magnetic intention. Your focused intention draws support as naturally as a magnet attracts metal. The field mirrors your focus by bringing aligned events and resources closer. Flowing currents. Sense currents of abundance moving through the air around you. As you project your energy into them, the atmosphere carries it back as steady financial flow. Harmony with the ether. Align your emotional vibration with wealth. The atmosphere, in perfect harmony, reflects opportunities and blessings that match your alignment. Silent registration. Each confident thought of prosperity is quietly registered in the universal field. Later, The mirror reflects these thoughts as supportive circumstances. The loop of abundance: as you project blessing, the atmosphere holds and mirrors it, and you receive. The cycle repeats, reinforcing the idea that abundance flows continuously when projected intentionally. Breath of prosperity: breathe in calm confidence and exhale visions of financial abundance, send them into the atmosphere, which holds and reflects them back as opportunities. The sky receives: feel your intentions of wealth drifting upward, settling into the sky. The ether absorbs them and prepares their mirrored return. Waves of value: each thought of prosperity sends subtle waves into the air, and the field gently carries them back, returning them as tangible support. Magnetic projection: as you focus on financial blessing, invisible currents extend from your mind, attracting circumstances aligned with your intentions. Calm expectation: relax into the certainty of abundance. The atmosphere mirrors that ease, bringing financial opportunities softly, without force. Invisible threads: thoughts of sufficiency become threads in the ether. Each thread pulls blessings back along a path the atmosphere reflects. Resonant alignment: your vibration of wealth harmonizes with the atmosphere, causing events and people to mirror your emotional state effortless. The reflective sky: imagine your intentions resting on the clouds. The sky mirrors them, returning experiences that echo your abundance. Seeds of prosperity: plants financial intentions into the air. The atmosphere nurtures them, returning them as opportunities, flow, and unexpected support. Flowing currents: sense currents of abundance circulating in the ether. As you project your energy, the atmosphere guides it back to you as wealth. Subtle registration: every confident thought of prosperity is quietly recorded by the field, later mirrored as aligned events that support your financial growth. Silent reception: you project blessing into the air and feel it return as subtle confirmations, ideas, connections, and resources appearing in your life. Harmonic return: your attention is a tuning fork. The atmosphere resonates with your financial intention, returning it magnified and harmonious. The energy loop: you send abundance into the unified field. The field reflects it back continuously, reinforcing your sense of security and wealth. Gentle manifestation: with each breath and thought, the atmosphere responds silently but surely, creating circumstances that mirror the prosperity you have projected. Golden breath: inhale deeply, draw in calm certainty, and exhale streams of golden light filled with abundance, and watch them dissolve into the ether, where they are reflected back as opportunities. Wealth ripples: each thought of prosperity sends gentle ripples into the sky, expanding upward. The atmosphere returns these ripples as experiences, synchronicities, and financial blessings. Floating intentions: project your intentions like leaves into the wind. The universal field carries them, and the world mirrors them as tangible financial flow. Radiant projection: imagine beams of wealth radiating from your solar plexus into the air. The ether receives them, amplifying and reflecting them back into your life. Magnetic abundance: your attention on abundance creates a magnetic current in the atmosphere. Events, opportunities, and resources are drawn to you as the field mirrors your energy. Skywriting prosperity: visualize writing financial blessings across the sky with your mind. The atmosphere records it and mirrors it back as wealth aligned with your intention. Vibrational alignment: you tune your emotional vibration to prosperity. The universal field responds, reflecting opportunities that harmonize perfectly with your frequency. Subtle energy streams: each thought of money travels like a subtle river through the ether, returning as aligned actions, encounters, and gifts from the field. Celestial reflection: your intentions float like glowing orbs in the atmosphere. The field holds them, rotates them, and returns them as financial experiences that match your energy. Infinite loop. Project wealth into the field and imagine it circulating endlessly. The atmosphere reflects it back, magnifying abundance in surprising, effortless ways. The receiving sky. Visualize the sky as a receptive mirror, absorbing every positive financial thought you project. It reflects back unexpected streams of prosperity. Resonance of riches. Each confident intention vibrates through the atmosphere. The field resonates in harmony, bringing wealth as if answering a call you quietly make. Energy seeds. Plant seeds of financial intention into the universal field. The atmosphere nurtures them, returning them as opportunities, gifts, and aligned resources. Breath of manifestation. With every inhale, draw in calm assurance. With every exhale, release financial intentions into the ether. Watch the atmosphere mirror these intentions as real-world gains. Harmonic return. Imagine your prosperity energy as a wave. It moves into the atmosphere, and the field mirrors it back as synchronicities, openings, and financial blessings perfectly timed. Become aware that every financial thought you hold rises gently into the atmosphere like warm breath. The field receives it, remembers it, and begins arranging reflections that return as provision. As you rest your attention on prosperity, sense the ether responding, subtle currents in the air shifting, echoing your intention, preparing matching events to meet you. Imagine your thoughts of abundance leaving your mind as luminous signals, traveling through the Akashic atmosphere, registering themselves as future circumstances. Each calm affirmation of financial ease radiates upward, imprinting the collective field, which quietly mirrors back opportunities aligned with that vibration. Notice how the atmosphere feels receptive, almost listening, as you project gratitude for wealth already forming. The field answers by shaping real-world expressions. With every relaxed breath, broadcast stability and overflow into the ether. The atmosphere reflects this signal by reorganizing pathways of income and support. Realize the sky above you is not empty, it is responsive. As you hold thoughts of prosperity, the field records them and begins replaying them as lived experience. Your attention acts like a tuning fork. When you focus on financial blessing, the atmosphere resonates, matching your frequency and returning it as aligned encounters. Silently project the feeling of being provided for. The unified field receives the emotional signature and mirrors it back through tangible results. As your thoughts drift upward into the collective consciousness, they are not lost, they are echoed, magnified, and returned as events shaped by your focus. Sense a feedback loop forming, intention rising, reflection descending. The atmosphere responds faithfully, mirroring the prosperity you hold within. Every image of abundance you entertain subtly reorganizes the field around you, guiding circumstances to echo the same pattern back into your life. Feel yourself participating in creation, not observing it. Your financial intentions ripple through the ether and return as synchronistic support. The more gently and consistently you project wealth consciousness into the atmosphere, the more clearly the field reflects it as practical abundance. Rest in the knowing that the atmosphere mirrors without judgment, you. Whatever you project, confidence, gratitude, expectation, returns to you as lived reality. Sense that every financial intention you hold rises into the atmosphere like a subtle vibration and enter the unified field where it is received, recorded, and quietly mirrored back as circumstance. As you relax into thoughts of prosperity, feel the ether above you respond, gently reorganizing itself to echo the same frequency back into your lived experience. You project a calm expectation of abundance into the atmospheric field, knowing that the mirror of consciousness reflects only what you consistently offer it. Imagine financial ease. That image radiates upward as energy, registering itself in the Akashic atmosphere and returning to you as aligned opportunity. Become aware that the air itself is listening. As you hold gratitude for provision, the unified field responds by shaping events that match that vibration. Your attention becomes a broadcast signal. When you rest it on wealth and stability, the atmosphere receives the transmission and begins reflecting it as material support. Notice how thoughts of abundance feel lighter, expansive, as they move into the collective field, where they are mirrored back as synchronistic encounters. As you breathe steadily, project confidence in financial flow into the ether, and the atmosphere mirrors that confidence through doors opening naturally. Realize the atmosphere does not judge or delay, it reflects. Whatever financial expectation you hold is faithfully returned in form and timing. Each affirmation of prosperity leaves your mind as a subtle wave, traveling through the unified field and returning as tangible expressions of value and exchange. Sense yourself participating in a feedback loop, intention rising into the atmosphere, experience descending back into your life with matching resonance. Imagine money as flowing and supportive, that pattern imprints itself into the ether and echoes back as stability and ease. Gently project the feeling of being financially supported into the collective consciousness, trusting the mirror of the field to reflect it accurately. As your thoughts soften into certainty, the atmosphere rearranges its responses, reflecting abundance through people, timing, and opportunity. Rest in the understanding that the unified field mirrors awareness itself. As you hold steady focus on financial blessing, the atmosphere returns it as lived reality. Quietly sense your financial intention leaving your awareness as a gentle pulse and enter the atmospheric field where it is instantly recognized and prepared for reflection. As you hold the feeling of prosperity, the ether above you subtly reshapes itself, learning your signal and arranging events to echo it back. Imagine your thoughts of abundance rising into the Akashic atmosphere like light mist, knowing the mirror of the field faithfully returns what it receives. Each calm expectation of financial ease radiates upward, registering in the unified field as information that will soon reappear as lived experience. Become aware that the atmosphere is responsive, alive, and reflective, returning your focus on wealth as matching opportunity. When you rest attention on financial blessing, the collective field absorbs the frequency and begins mirroring it through timing, people, and provision. Sense your thoughts traveling through the ether as waves, knowing the atmosphere reflects those waves back as material forms. As you breathe, project confidence and sufficiency into the field, and the atmosphere mirrors this state as stability and flow. Notice that the field does not interpret or judge, it simply reflects. Whatever financial image you hold is quietly returned. Your awareness becomes a tuning instrument. As you tune it to abundance, the atmospheric mirror resonates and responds in kind. Feel yourself participating in a loop of creation, thoughts rising into the field, experiences descending back into your life. Each moment you dwell in gratitude for provision, the atmosphere records the vibration and prepares a corresponding reflection. Sense the invisible fabric of the air responding to your financial intentions, shaping circumstances that match your emotional signal. As you consistently project prosperity into the unified field, the mirror of consciousness responds with increasing clarity and precision. Rest in the knowing that the atmosphere reflects attention itself, and as you offer steady focus on financial blessing, it returns as reality. Sense your thought of financial blessing rising from within you, drifting into the atmosphere like a signal the field instantly recognizes and reflects. As you hold the idea of prosperity, the ether above you subtly rearranges itself, preparing matching circumstances to return. Imagine your intention entering the unified field as a vibration, knowing the atmosphere faithfully mirrors whatever frequency you offer. Each calm thought of abundance radiates upward, registering in the collective consciousness as a pattern ready to echo back. Become aware that the atmosphere listens without judgment, reflecting your focused attention on wealth as opportunity and provision. As your awareness rests on financial ease, the mirror of the field begins shaping events in resonance with that state. Feel your thoughts traveling through the ether like waves, certain they will return to you as corresponding experiences. When you project gratitude for money already received, the atmosphere records that signal and prepares more to mirror. Notice the air itself feeling responsive, alive, quietly reflecting your emotional expectation of prosperity. With every breath, project an image of financial flow into the field, trusting the mirror to respond in perfect timing. Recognize that the atmosphere reflects attention itself, and as you attend to abundance, abundance attends to you. Your financial intention settles into the Akashic field, where it is encoded and replayed as material outcomes. Sense no separation between your awareness and the atmosphere. What you project is what the field becomes for you. As you consistently offer thoughts of sufficiency, the mirror of consciousness responds with stability and increase. Rest in the knowing that the unified field reflects your focus perfectly, and as you project financial blessing, it returns as lived reality. Allow a calm thought of financial blessing to rise from within you and sense it drift into the atmosphere where the unified field quietly prepares its reflection. As you rest your attention on prosperity, the ether receives the signal, absorbing the frequency and shaping matching events in return. Feel your intention for abundance radiate outward like a soft wave, registering in the atmospheric field that mirrors only what is offered. With steady focus, project financial ease into the collective consciousness, trust the mirror of the field to echo it back in form. Notice the air above you feels responsive, as though the atmosphere itself is listening and aligning with your thoughts of provision. Each moment you hold the feeling of sufficiency, the unified field records the vibration and begins its quiet return. Imagine your financial intention dissolving into the Akasha, knowing it will reappear as opportunity, support, and flow. As your awareness settles on abundance, the atmosphere reflects that attention as synchronized events moving toward you. Sense no separation between your thoughts and the field, recognizing that what you project becomes what the atmosphere mirrors. When you breathe with gratitude for financial blessing, the ether amplifies the signal and prepares its response. Become aware that the atmosphere mirrors attention itself, and as you attend to prosperity, prosperity attends to you. Your thoughts of wealth move through the unified field like light through space, returning as tangible experiences. Gently project confidence and financial stability into the atmosphere, trusting the mirror to respond in perfect resonance. As you remain consistent in your intention, the collective field reflects that steadiness as lasting financial growth. Rest in the understanding that the atmosphere faithfully mirrors your focus, and as you project financial blessing, it returns as reality. Gently project a feeling of financial blessing into the atmosphere and sense the unified field receive it and quietly prepare its reflection. As you hold prosperity in awareness, the ether absorbs the vibration, arranging circumstances that echo the frequency you offered. Imagine your thoughts of abundance radiating upward, registering in the atmospheric field that mirrors attention without judgment. With calm focus, project financial intention into the Akasha, trusting it to return as aligned opportunity and support. Notice the air above you feels alive, responsive, as if the atmosphere itself is listening and responding to your prosperity signal. Each time you feel gratitude for wealth, the unified field records the vibration and begins shaping matching events. Allow thoughts of ease and provision to travel through the collective consciousness, knowing resonance governs their return. As your attention rests on abundance, the atmosphere mirrors that focus through synchronicity and favorable movement. Recognize no boundary between your intention and the field. What you project becomes what the atmosphere reflects. Breathing slowly and project financial certainty into the ether and feel the mirror begin its silent reply. Sense the field responding not to words alone, but to the frequency of confidence and trust you emit. Thoughts of wealth ripple outward like waves through space, returning as tangible expressions of support and flow. Project stability and prosperity into the atmosphere, knowing resonance naturally attracts its likeness. Remaining consistent in attention, allow the unified field to stabilize, matching financial patterns around you. Rest in the knowing that the atmosphere mirrors awareness itself, and as you offer financial blessing, it returns as lived reality. Let a calm awareness of financial blessing rise within you and sense it gently broadcast into the atmosphere where the unified field begins to echo it back. As you rest your attention on abundance, the ether receives the signal, storing its frequency and shaping events that match its tone. Imagine your thoughts of prosperity leaving your body like warm currents of air and enter the atmospheric field that mirrors only what is offered. With relaxed focus, project financial ease into the collective consciousness, trusting resonance to return it as opportunity. Sense the atmosphere above you subtly responding, as though the field itself recognizes the vibration of your intention. Each thought of sufficiency you project registers in the Akasha, quietly arranging reflections in the material world. Feel no separation between your mind and the air around you, knowing the field mirrors awareness itself. As you breathe, infuse the atmosphere with confidence and provision, allowing the mirror to form its reply. Your attention lingers on wealth not as effort, but as signal, and the unified field begins to answer in kind. Imagine the atmosphere absorbing your intention like memory, preparing to replay it as lived experience. When you focus on financial blessing, the ether stabilizes that pattern and reflects it through synchronized events. Allow thoughts of prosperity to ripple upward, knowing waves in the field always return to their source. The more gently you hold abundance in awareness, the more clearly the atmosphere mirrors it back to you. Recognize that the field responds not to force, but to consistency of focus and feeling. Resting in this understanding, project financial blessing into the atmosphere, knowing the mirror never forgets what it is shown. Become aware that the air above you is listening, and as you hold a feeling of financial blessing, the atmosphere quietly records its pattern. With each calm thought of prosperity, sense subtle waves moving outward into the ether, where the field begins shaping matching circumstances. Allow abundance to form as a gentle intention, release it into the unified atmosphere that reflects only what is sincerely offered. As you focus on financial ease, the Akashic field receives the vibration and stores it as potential waiting to return. Feel your thoughts rise like invisible currents, traveling through the atmosphere where consciousness itself mirrors them back. When you rest attention on wealth with gratitude, the universal field responds by arranging resonant events. Notice that the atmosphere does not judge or resist, it simply reflects the frequency you project into it. Each thought of financial blessing becomes a signal, broadcast into the ether where it begins to echo. Experience yourself as part of the field, and know the atmosphere responds because it is not separate from you. As you gently repeat thoughts of prosperity, the mirror of consciousness begins replaying them as opportunity. Sense the atmosphere holding your intention like memory, preparing to express it in physical form. With steady focus, project abundance into the unified field, trusting resonance to complete the cycle. Recognize that the more clearly you hold financial blessing, the more clearly the field reflects it. As you relax into interconnectedness, the atmosphere responds effortless, mirroring your emotional state outward. Resting in this awareness, offer financial intention to the atmosphere, knowing the unified field always answers in kind. Gently hold a thought of financial blessing and sense it leave your awareness and enter the atmosphere where the unified field begins to remember it. As your attention rests on prosperity, the ether receives the vibration and quietly prepares its reflection. Notice that every calm thought of abundance radiates upward, registering itself in the living atmosphere around you. When you focus on financial ease, the Akashic field responds by shaping events that resonate with that signal. Feel your intention rise like a subtle wave, moving through the atmosphere that mirrors only what is sincerely projected. The air above you is a listening presence, reflecting your financial focus back as opportunity. Each thought of provision becomes a frequency, carried by the unified field into material form. Relax into the knowing that the atmosphere does not decide, it simply reflects the attention you offer. As you project financial blessing, the collective consciousness arranges matching circumstances without effort. Sense the ether absorbing your intention like information, storing it until it appears as experience. When you remain steady in abundance, the mirror of the atmosphere stabilizes that pattern in your life. Your thoughts move through the field like ripples, returning as synchronized financial events. Feel yourself participating in creation, knowing the atmosphere responds because it is not separate from you. With gentle focus, broadcast prosperity into the unified field, trusting resonance to complete the loop. Resting in interconnectedness, project financial blessing into the atmosphere, knowing the mirror always answers truthfully. Become aware that every thought of financial blessing leaves you like a soft signal and enter the atmosphere where it is received without judgment. As you rest your attention on prosperity, the ether records the frequency and begins arranging its echo in form. Sense your intention rising into the Akasha like a warm current, knowing the field remembers exactly what you offer. Each calm feeling of abundance radiates upward, imprinting itself upon the living atmosphere that connects all things. Notice the atmosphere above you responding subtly, mirroring your financial focus as quiet alignment. When you hold wealth gently in mind, the unified field reflects it as synchronized opportunity. Your thoughts move through the atmosphere like waves through water, carrying financial blessing toward manifestation. Realize the field does not resist or delay, it simply reflects the vibration you sustain. As you project financial ease, the collective consciousness reshapes circumstances to match that tone. Feel the atmosphere acting as memory, storing your intention until it returns as experience. With each steady breath, your prosperity signal stabilizes in the ether and begins its return journey. Sense no separation between your awareness and the field, what you project is already beginning to mirror. When your attention rests on abundance, the atmosphere answers by reflecting harmony and provision. Experience yourself as a transmitter within the unified field, broadcasting financial blessing effortless. Resting in interconnectedness, project prosperity into the atmosphere, knowing the mirror of consciousness always responds in kind. Breathe in deeply and feel the subtle energy of prosperity rise within, and as you exhale, project it outward into the atmosphere, knowing the air itself begins to carry your intention and mirror it back to you. As you softly imagine financial blessings, sense each thought vibrating into the ether, creating ripples of abundance that will return to you in perfect timing. Place your attention on the feeling of financial ease, and the atmosphere opens like a mirror, reflecting that vibration back as opportunities and support. Every dollar, and every affirmation you speak silently, radiates from you into the universal field, where it waits to return multiplied and harmonized with your intention. Feel the interconnectedness of all life, and as you project gratitude and wealth into the sky above you, the atmosphere resonates and prepares a reflection of abundance for you. With each slow, Conscious breath send prosperity into the ether, and notice the field responding, echoing your energetic pattern in tangible forms. Imagine your financial blessings as a golden light, flowing from your heart into the surrounding air, where the unified field receives it and reflects it back in alignment with your focus. Each thought of abundance is a signal, gently transmitted into the atmosphere, where it merges with the collective energy and returns as opportunities, ideas, and provision. Sense the air above you as a living mirror, recording every clear, intentional signal of prosperity you project, patiently reflecting it back into your reality. With awareness in your solar plexus, imagine project financial blessings upward, allowing the energy to permeate the ether and circle back to you like a returning wave. Notice the subtle vibration of your mind as it harmonizes with the atmosphere, and each projection of wealth into this field manifests as experiences that match your intention. Every image of abundance you hold in mind enters the field as pure energy, and you feel the mirrored response forming above you, ready to manifest in your life. Allow your attention to expand into the atmosphere, sending waves of prosperity upward, trusting the atmosphere to respond, align, and return your intention in perfect timing. Silently repeat affirmations of wealth, sense the ether absorbing them, reflecting their energetic pattern back as material, financial, and creative abundance. Rest in the awareness that you are both creator and receiver and project financial blessings into the universal mirror above you, knowing it is arranging circumstances to reflect your intention back in perfect resonance. Breathe deeply and feel each dollar radiating upward, carried by the subtle currents of the atmosphere. Know that the field mirrors this energy back to you in abundance. As you focus on financial blessings, visualize them as golden ripples in the air, each wave resonating with the universal field, returning to you in perfect harmony with your intent. Imagine your thoughts of prosperity drifting upward into the sky, where the ether receives them like seeds, preparing to sprout as opportunities mirrored back to you. With each intentional breath, project gratitude and abundance into the atmosphere, and the field responds, reflecting back experiences that align with your highest financial good. Sense the air above you as a living mirror, recording the clarity of your intentions and preparing to echo them back in forms of wealth and provision. Each thought of financial ease becomes a luminous wave, radiating into the unified field, where it resonates and returns to you amplified, harmonized, and timed perfectly. Allow your consciousness to expand upward, send currents of prosperity into the ether, and trust that it reflects back exactly what you project. Place your awareness on the feeling of financial security and project it gently into the surrounding atmosphere, where it blends with the universal vibration and returns as tangible abundance. Each affirmation you repeat silently enters the ether as subtle energy, and the atmosphere, like a faithful mirror, responds with opportunities, ideas, and material support. Visualize your wealth as a glowing light, flowing into the air, and the field begins to respond, arranging circumstances to mirror your intention with perfect alignment. Feel your thoughts of prosperity interwoven with the collective consciousness, knowing that the atmosphere reflects your financial intentions in ways both visible and unseen. Each focus on abundance becomes a signal, traveling through the ether, where it merges with the universal flow and returns to you as prosperous events. Sense the subtle currents of the atmosphere adjusting to your energetic signature, reflecting the frequency of wealth and ease you radiate into the world. With every mindful breath, project intention into the sky, knowing that this living field mirrors your focus and multiplies the energetic pattern back into your reality. Rest in the awareness that the universe responds to your emotional state, sending each carefully held thought of abundance into the atmosphere, where it is mirrored, returned, and manifested in perfect timing. Breathe deeply and let each thought of abundance rise and feel the ether above you receive your intentions, ready to mirror them back as financial blessings. Imagine golden streams of prosperity flowing from your mind into the sky, where the atmosphere holds them and returns their energy to you multiplied. Feel the air above you vibrating gently with the intentions you project, and as the atmosphere mirrors these vibrations, opportunities for wealth begin to form. With every exhale, project gratitude for abundance into the ether and sense the universal field responding and echoing that energy back into your life. See your financial intentions as luminous waves radiating upward, and the atmosphere bends and reflects them, creating circumstances that match your focus. Focus on the feeling of ease and security, and let these frequencies drift into the ether, knowing the mirrored energy will return as tangible financial manifestations. Each breath you take sends your intentions into the unified field, and the atmosphere begins to align events and ideas in perfect resonance with your thoughts. Allow your consciousness to merge with the surrounding atmosphere, releasing visions of financial blessings that the universal mirror returns as concrete opportunities. Whisper words of prosperity into the atmosphere and feel the field respond, folding your intentions into the flow of events that reflect them. Project acts of generosity and seeds of wealth into the sky, and watch the mirrored energies return to you in unexpected and delightful forms. Sense the atmosphere as a living mirror, capturing the vibration of abundance you radiate, shaping your experiences to reflect that same energy. With calm focus, imagine the unified field as a canvas, and your financial intentions as golden paint, which the atmosphere reflects back into your reality. Breathe the feeling of financial freedom into your gut, sending waves of this energy into the air, where the mirrored frequency draws wealth toward you. Visualize each dollar, each blessing, expanding outward into the ether, and trust that the atmosphere reflects and returns these energies aligned with your highest good. Rest in the awareness that your thoughts of prosperity are already moving through the universal field, and as the atmosphere mirrors them, begin to experience their presence in your life. Inhale slowly and feel wealth as a warm, golden light in your chest, and exhale it into the atmosphere, and know that they will reflect back to you multiplied. Imagine your financial intentions rising like vapor into the sky, the ether capturing each thought and returning them as opportunities and abundance. Feel the air above you as a living mirror, receiving your projections of prosperity and folding them back into your life in perfect timing. With each deep breath, send gratitude for financial blessings into the universal field and sense the atmosphere echoing those energies back to you. Visualize streams of light carrying your wealth-focused intentions into the ether, where the mirrored energy guides experiences aligned with abundance. You softly repeat the words abundance, prosperity, wealth, feeling their vibrations radiate into the atmosphere, where the field mirrors them in form and opportunity. Picture your financial goals as seeds, release them into the sky, and watch as the atmosphere nurtures them, and return growth and manifestation to your life. Place your hand on your solar plexus and breathe intention into the air and imagine the atmosphere vibrating in harmony with your prosperity. See your wealth flowing outward as ripples in the ether, and the mirrored vibrations bring back experiences and opportunities that resonate with those waves. Imagine the unified field as a canvas, and your financial intentions as golden paint, mirrored back as tangible success and financial ease. Project generosity and abundance into the atmosphere and feel the mirrored energy return as unexpected financial blessings and joyful opportunities. Sense the universe as a responsive mirror, taking in each thought of abundance and reflecting it into your experience with perfect clarity. Exhale financial affirmations into the atmosphere and imagine the subtle energy of your words registering in the ether and return as material evidence of prosperity. Breathe in the feeling of wealth already present, sending it outward into the atmosphere, and watch as the mirrored field aligns events to match that vibration. Relax and focus and feel your consciousness merge with the surrounding air and project visions of financial blessing, knowing the universe mirrors them back into your reality. Inhale deeply and feel the energy of wealth in your core, and exhale into the atmosphere, sending your intention for financial blessings to ripple upward, knowing the field mirrors it back to you. Imagine each thought of abundance as a golden thread weaving into the ether, and feel the universe returning that energy as opportunities and prosperity. With every breath, project gratitude for financial blessings into the air and sense the atmosphere amplifying and returning it in abundance. Picture the wind carrying your intentions for wealth, and let each gust reflect back experiences that align with your prosperity. You softly repeat words like abundance and prosperity and let their subtle vibrations radiate into the unified field, and feel the mirrored responses flow back to you effortless. Visualize streams of golden light projecting from your heart into the sky, knowing the ether captures your intention and mirrors it as tangible financial opportunities. See your financial desires as seeds planted into the atmosphere, and imagine the mirror of the field nurturing them to grow and return as abundance. Place your hand on your solar plexus and breathe intentions of wealth into the air and feel the energy of the atmosphere resonate and mirror your intentions. Picture the universal field as a crystal clear mirror, receiving your projections of financial ease, and reflect them back as synchronized events in your life. Imagine your thoughts of prosperity rising like bubbles into the sky, each one carrying intention, mirrored back as serendipitous financial blessings. Project generosity and gratitude into the atmosphere and feel the mirrored energy return in ways that expand your financial reality. Sense the atmosphere as a responsive living canvas, absorbing each visualization of financial abundance and painting it back into your experience. Exhale affirmations like wealth flows to me into the ether and feel them as mirrored energy returning as aligned opportunities and resources. Visualize your consciousness merging with the surrounding air and project visions of financial success, knowing the universe mirrors them back into your reality. Feel each intention as a vibration, sending it outward with confidence, and watch the mirrored reflection of the field align events and circumstances with your financial blessings. Breathe deeply and feel the energy of prosperity in your solar plexus, and with each exhale, project golden intentions into the atmosphere, knowing they ripple outward and return as financial blessings. With gentle focus envision your thoughts as shimmering waves of abundance, flowing into the universal field, which reflects them back to you as unexpected wealth and opportunities. Imagine each dollar you desire dissolving into light and rising into the ether, where the atmosphere mirrors your vibration, returning it multiplied in perfect timing. Softly repeat the word prosperity, feel its vibration radiate from your heart into the air and sense the field responding and aligning circumstances in your favor. Picture the sky as a living mirror, absorbing your intentions for financial ease and sending them back as clear, tangible manifestations of wealth. Breathe slowly and visualize streams of golden energy flowing from your mind into the atmosphere, and feel the mirrored resonance returning as opportunities and abundance. See your financial intentions like seeds planted in the universal field, and with each conscious breath, the atmosphere nurtures them to grow and return as blessings. Place your hands over your heart and solar plexus and project gratitude and visions of abundance upward, knowing the field mirrors these energies back as real experiences. Imagine waves of prosperity flowing from you into the atmosphere, each wave echoing back as financial support, fortunate connections, and aligned circumstances. Sense the subtle energy of your thoughts as threads weaving into the ether, and feel the mirrored tapestry returning to you in the form of wealth and opportunity. Breathe in calm confidence and exhale intentions of financial abundance, envisioning the atmosphere responding, reflecting those intentions as perfect events and opportunities. Picture your desires as luminous clouds rising into the sky, and watch the mirrored reflections return as tangible financial blessings flowing effortless toward you. Silently affirm, money flows to me easily and freely, sending this frequency into the atmosphere, and feel the field echoing it back in synchronicity with your life. Visualize the unified field as a vast reflective lake and project your intentions for abundance across its surface, and witness the mirrored ripples returning as prosperity and ease. Allow your mind to focus on abundance as a living vibration and project it into the atmosphere, and sense the field returning this energy as financial blessings perfectly aligned with your highest good. You take a slow, deep breath and feel wealth energy rise in your solar plexus, and exhale into the atmosphere, sending golden threads of prosperity that ripple back to you in perfect timing. With each breath, project visions of abundance into the universal field and imagine the atmosphere as a mirror, reflecting opportunities, unexpected income, and aligned resources back to you. Focus on the word abundance and let its vibration radiate outward, and sense the ether respond and return it as tangible financial blessings flowing toward you effortless. See your financial intentions as sparkling orbs rising into the sky, and watch them mirror back through the atmosphere as clear pathways, solutions, and manifestations. Place a hands on your heart and solar plexus, breathe in gratitude, and send intentions of wealth into the atmosphere, and feel the mirrored response shaping new doors of opportunity. Imagine your thoughts as gentle waves of prosperity, radiating into the unified field, where the atmosphere amplifies and reflects them as fortune, gifts, and synchronicities. Silently affirm, I am open to financial blessings, projecting this frequency into the ether, and sense the atmosphere echoing it back in alignment with your desires. Visualize clouds of golden energy ascending from your mind, saturating the atmosphere, and feel them return as concrete financial abundance, perfectly timed and aligned. Breathe slowly and consciously and imagine each exhale releasing luminous intentions into the atmosphere, knowing the mirrored energy returns as abundance in both expected and surprising forms. Picture your desires as radiant seeds scattered into the ether, and sense the atmosphere nurturing them, and return them fully grown as financial blessings and resources. Feel the subtle vibrations of wealth within and project them outward into the atmospheric field, which mirrors back circumstances, ideas, and support aligned with your prosperity. See the sky as a living mirror, capturing every thought of abundance, and reflect it back into your life as opportunities, gifts, and financial ease. Imagine the unified field as a vast reflective lake, sending your intentions across its surface, and watching the ripples return as income, windfalls, and abundance flowing naturally to you. Breathe in confidence and release your financial intentions into the air, and sense the atmosphere respond and return them as both immediate and long-term blessings. Allow your mind to focus on prosperity as a living energy and project it into the ether, and feel the mirrored atmosphere return this energy as wealth, opportunity, and harmonious financial flow. Breathe deeply and imagine your wealth intention as a glowing golden light in your solar plexus, sending it upward into the atmosphere, and sense it returning to you multiplied in abundance. With each exhale, project thoughts of prosperity into the air and feel the universal field resonate with your intention and reflect opportunities and financial blessings back to you. See your thoughts as tiny radiant seeds floating into the sky, the atmosphere absorbing them, and returning them to you as concrete, aligned financial events. Place a hands gently on your heart and solar plexus, breathe in gratitude for abundance, send this frequency into the ether, and feel it mirrored back as wealth flowing into your life. Repeat the word prosperity silently and imagine its vibration radiating upward, and sense the atmospheric field reflecting it as new income streams and fortunate circumstances. Visualize your desires as golden orbs rising into the sky, the atmosphere holding them like a mirror, and returning them as financial growth, unexpected blessings, and aligned resources. Allow a feeling of financial freedom to fill your chest and project it into the unified field, and sense the atmosphere responding by shaping experiences that mirror that freedom back to you. Breathe slowly and feel the subtle hum of abundance in your body and project it into the air, and imagine the ether returning it as opportunities, windfalls, and timely financial solutions. See the sky as a reflective canvas, imprinting each thought of wealth onto it, and watch as the universe mirrors these thoughts back into your reality with clarity and ease. With each conscious breath, project the vibration of money into the atmosphere and feel it resonate and return as both material gain and creative solutions aligned with your intentions. Imagine the collective consciousness as a responsive mirror, sending your intentions of prosperity into it, and perceive the mirrored reflections as new channels for financial blessings. Breathe in the feeling of financial security, exhale it into the atmosphere, and sense the ether returning it multiplied as opportunities, support, and abundance manifesting in your life. Envision your financial goals as shining beams of light, project them into the sky, and watch as the universal field mirrors them back, perfectly aligned with your needs and timing. Silently affirm, abundance flows effortless to me, projecting this intention into the atmospheric field, and feel it returning as synchronicities, resources, and wealth aligned with your path. Sense your consciousness connecting with the universal ether, sending waves of wealth energy into the atmosphere, and perceive the mirrored field responding by bringing financial blessings that reflect your intentions perfectly. Inhale deeply, gathering the feeling of wealth into your solar plexus, and exhale, sending golden ripples of abundance into the atmosphere, and sense the universe mirroring them back as opportunities. As you breathe slowly, imagine each thought of financial freedom expanding upward, dissolving into the ether, and returning to you as tangible blessings and prosperous circumstances. See your intentions as radiant coins of light rising into the sky. The atmosphere receives them and reflects back aligned financial events that echo your frequency. With your hands over your heart and solar plexus, feel gratitude for prosperity and project that frequency into the atmosphere, and sensing the mirrored energy returning to support your material growth. Silently repeat the word abundance, imagining it as a wave flowing into the universal field, and watch the atmosphere respond by returning streams of wealth in synchrony with your intention. Breathe the vibration of money into the sky, visualizing it vibrating through the air, and notice the atmosphere reflecting opportunities, financial growth, and aligned resources back to you. Project financial security as a luminous energy from your chest, sending it into the Akasha, and sense the mirrored field returning the same energy multiplied in forms of prosperity. Visualize your desires as golden spheres spinning upward, the atmosphere capturing their resonance, and returning them as events, people, and resources aligned with your intentions. With every exhale, send gratitude and financial intention into the ether and feel the atmosphere mirror your offering as new streams of income, chance encounters, and aligned opportunities. See the sky as a reflective surface, imprinting each financial goal onto it, and feel the universe returning it as practical, tangible outcomes that mirror your emotional vision. Breathe abundance into your core, releasing it into the atmosphere as subtle vibrations, and sense the mirrored energy manifesting as wealth flowing easily and naturally to you. Focus on financial ease and project this frequency into the unified field, and feel the ether responding by creating experiences that reflect the comfort and freedom of wealth. Imagine each dollar you intend as a small, radiant pulse rising into the sky, and watch as the atmosphere mirrors it back as multiplied financial blessings in your life. Inhale the feeling of security and exhale it as energy into the ether, and sense the mirror of the atmosphere returning aligned opportunities, unexpected abundance, and harmonious financial experiences. Align your mind and heart with prosperity and project golden streams of intention into the universal field, and feel the mirrored energy returning to you as wealth, growth, and the materialization of your goals. Inhale deeply and gather the feeling of wealth into your chest, and exhale into the sky, sending golden pulses of intention. Feel the atmosphere catching these pulses and returning them as opportunities, abundance, and prosperity. With each slow breath, imagine your thoughts of financial freedom rising like shimmering energy into the ether. Sense the ether mirroring them back, transforming intention into tangible blessings. Visualize each dollar you intend as a glowing sphere, lifting into the sky. Watch as the atmosphere absorbs their frequency and returns a reflection of multiplied wealth to your life. Place your hands over your solar plexus, feel your financial power radiate, and project it into the Akasha. Notice the subtle vibrations returning as aligned opportunities and unexpected abundance. Silently repeat the word prosperity, feeling it resonate in your gut, and imagine sending it outward. Observe the ether reflecting this energy as real, material manifestations. See your financial goals as beams of light rising from your heart, dissolving into the universal field. Sense the mirrored energy returning as people, events, and resources aligned with your intentions. Breathing in gratitude, exhale your financial intentions into the atmosphere, allowing the subtle field to respond and return experiences that match your prosperity frequency. Imagine a radiant golden mist forming above you as you project wealth-focused thoughts. Watch the ether reflect it back as tangible financial blessings. Each thought of financial ease radiates outward like waves in water, the unified field receiving them and sending back corresponding events, ideas, and synchronicities. Focus on the sensation of abundance and project it into the atmosphere, and sense the mirror-like quality of the field returning aligned opportunities into your life effortless. Feel your wealth consciousness expand and project golden energy into the ether. Notice the mirrored reflection forming as practical, real-world abundance around you. Visualize sending streams of intention upward, each infused with your joy and gratitude, and watch the universal field return them as amplified financial manifestations. Radiate confidence and financial clarity into the sky, and the atmosphere, like a perfect mirror, responds by bringing situations and people aligned with your prosperity. Picture your wealth intentions floating upward as glowing seeds. Observe as the ether nurtures them and returns the fruits of abundance to your reality. Breathe deeply and feel financial freedom in your body. Project it into the universal field and sense the mirror of the atmosphere reflecting back experiences of success, growth, and overflowing blessings. Close your eyes and breathe deeply and imagine your wealth radiating from your heart like golden beams, reaching into the sky. The atmosphere receives them, and you feel it returning opportunities perfectly aligned with your intentions. As you exhale, see invisible streams of prosperity floating upward, each thought infused with gratitude and certainty. The air above you vibrates with these waves, returning them multiplied as tangible blessings. Feel the sensation of financial freedom in your chest. Project it outward as a subtle energy into the Akasha, knowing the universal field mirrors back exactly what you send. Imagine each thought of abundance as a luminous pearl, rising into the ether. The atmosphere holds them, amplifies them, and reflects them back as experiences of wealth, growth, and ease. Place a hand on your solar plexus and feel warmth and power. Each inhale draws in prosperity, each exhale releases your intention into the field. Watch as the energy returns, forming synchronized opportunities. Visualize a golden mist surrounding you, carrying your financial intentions. Sense it moving through the atmosphere, interacting with the universal field, and returning as mirrored financial blessings in your life. As you softly repeat the word abundance, let the vibrations flow from your gut into the surrounding air. Feel the atmosphere responding, organizing circumstances and ideas to match your prosperity. Imagine sending your intentions as tiny radiant seeds into the sky. The ether nurtures them and returns them as ripe financial rewards appearing effortless before you. Breathe in abundance and exhale confidence, and let the unified field receive your energetic signature. Sense the mirrored reflections forming in your reality as wealth and resources. Picture your financial goals as luminous threads connecting you to the vast sky. Send your attention along these threads, knowing the atmosphere mirrors them back with aligned events and people. Project a wave of financial joy into the ether, see it ripple outward. Watch the same wave return, bringing matching abundance into your life with perfect timing. As you breathe, imagine golden lights swirling around your body, carrying intentions of prosperity. The air absorbs them and returns experiences perfectly attuned to your vibration. Radiate clarity and abundance from within and project it upward as subtle pulses. The universal field receives them and reflects them back as effortless income, opportunities, and financial ease. Picture a gentle wind carrying your intentions, each thought a spark of wealth. Sense the atmosphere mirroring these sparks back as real-world financial blessings. Visualize your energy as a golden aura, expanding and infusing the air above you with abundance. Feel the field responding, folding your intentions into reality, and returning prosperity in multiple forms. Breath as broadcast. Inhale calmly and, with the exhale, release the feeling of financial ease into the atmosphere. The ether receives this vibration without resistance, and in time mirrors it back as opportunities that arrive effortless. Thought as signal. You hold a single thought, provision is assured, and allow it to radiate outward. Like a wave moving through water, the thought propagates through the unified field and returns as circumstances aligned with stability and support. Attention as currency. Notice where your attention rests and gently place it on abundance rather than lack. The atmosphere reflects this focus, rearranging events so that resources appear where your awareness consistently dwells. Gratitude as frequency. Project gratitude for money already present, however small. The field recognizes the vibration of appreciation and mirrors it back by expanding the flow that gratitude acknowledges. Intention as seed. You consciously plant the intention of financial blessing into the atmosphere, trusting the Akashic field to hold and gestate it. What returns is not forced wealth, but naturally unfolding provision. Emotion as amplifier. Feel calm confidence around money and let that emotional signature radiate outward. The atmosphere amplifies what you feel, reflecting back encounters and ideas that match emotional security. Words as atmospheric imprint. You softly speak words like increase, support, and sufficiency. These words vibrate through the ether, imprinting the field, which later mirrors them as tangible results. Visualization as alignment. Imagine financial blessings already circulating in your life. The atmosphere responds not to effort, but to coherence, and mirrors this emotional image through synchronized events. Release as trust. Project your intention and release it completely. This non-attachment signals trust to the unified field, allowing the mirror to respond without distortion. Consistency as resonance. You return daily to the same calm financial focus. The atmosphere, responding to repetition, stabilizes the frequency and reflects it back as consistent income or sustained support. Self-worth as broadcast. Project the belief that your work and presence are valuable. The field mirrors this conviction by attracting compensation and recognition that match your self-valuation. Stillness as clarity. In silence allow financial intentions to arise without strain. The atmosphere reflects the clarity of stillness by delivering clean, unobstructed pathways to provision. Collective benefit as multiplier project financial blessing not only for yourself, but for others. The collective consciousness responds by expanding the return beyond personal gain, often in unexpected ways. Expectation as invitation. Gently expect support without anxiety. The atmosphere mirrors expectation as invitation, opening doors rather than forcing outcomes. Alignment as law. Realize you are not asking the atmosphere for wealth, you are aligning with it. As your thoughts harmonize with abundance, the mirror reflects that harmony back as lived financial experience. Together, these examples illustrate a feedback loop of consciousness. What you project into the unified field becomes the pattern the atmosphere reflects back to you. In this view, financial blessings are not summoned through force, but mirrored through resonance, attention, and emotional coherence. The atmosphere as ledger. Recognize the atmosphere as a living ledger, recording every intention you project. When you project trust in provision, the field balances the account by returning experiences of material support. Wealth as a scent in the air. Allow thoughts of abundance to rise gently, like a fragrance dispersing through space. The ether absorbs the scent and later releases it back to you as favorable conditions and openings. Calm expectancy. Rest in the feeling that your needs are already known. This quiet expectation imprints the unified field, which mirrors back solutions before urgency even arises. Atmospheric listening. Sense that the field is always listening. When your emotional dialogue shifts from concern to confidence, the atmosphere echoes that change through improved financial flow. Mental weather patterns. You observe your thoughts as weather moving into the sky of consciousness. By projecting clarity and optimism, notice the atmosphere reflecting calmer financial seasons. Resonant alignment. Align your emotional rhythm with sufficiency rather than scarcity. The ether responds by synchronizing events that support steady income and continuity. Financial blessing as light. Imagine financial blessing as a soft light radiating outward. The unified field bends around this illumination and reflects it back as guidance, ideas, and tangible resources. The echo principle. You speak inwardly with assurance, there is always enough. The atmosphere echoes this declaration, returning circumstances that affirm the truth you projected. Investment of attention. You treat attention as capital. Wherever you invest it, confidence, order, appreciation, the atmosphere multiplies the return in proportional experiences. Harmony with the field. You stop resisting money-related outcomes and instead harmonize with ease. The field mirrors harmony by removing friction from financial exchanges. Energetic posture. Notice your emotional posture toward money soften and open. The atmosphere mirrors this openness through invitations, collaborations, and unexpected assistance. Subtle repetition. Quietly return to thoughts of financial stability throughout the day. The repetition stabilizes the frequency, and the field reflects it as dependable support. Collective resonance. You include others in your intention for prosperity. The collective field responds by expanding the channel through which financial blessings flow to you. Neutral confidence. Project confidence without strain or urgency. The atmosphere mirrors neutrality with balanced outcomes, neither delayed nor forced. Recognition of oneness. Realize you are not sending intentions into the field, you are moving within it. As your awareness aligns with abundance, the mirror naturally returns that alignment as lived experience. Together, these examples reaffirm the core insight of the contemplation: the atmosphere does not decide, it reflects. By refining what you project into the unified field, shape the financial realities that return to meet you, not as coincidence, but as resonance made visible. A unified field is referred to in various spiritual traditions as the ether, akasha, or collective consciousness, through which thoughts propagate and register their effects on the material world. The atmosphere acts as a mirror, reflecting the attention we offer it. The atmosphere is a universal energy field or ether that connects all living beings, and our thoughts are subtle forms of energy that radiate and is projected into the atmosphere to be mirrored back to us as events. The idea that the atmosphere responds to our thoughts and intentions draws on concepts from various spiritual traditions, metaphysics, and New Age philosophy. It is a contemplation on interconnectedness, consciousness, and the subtle energies that shape our reality. A contemplation on the atmosphere as a mirror of consciousness. The contemplation is founded on the premise of a unified field, variously termed the ether, akasha, or collective consciousness, an inherent fabric of existence that connects all life and events. The atmosphere as ether. In this view, the atmosphere is not merely a mix of gases but a universal, energetic ether that permeates all space, serving as a medium for information transfer beyond the physical senses. This aligns with ancient Indian cosmology, where akasha means space or sky. Thoughts as energy. Thoughts are considered subtle forms of energy, frequency, and vibration. When projected into the unified field, they register their effects, much like how waves propagate through a medium. The mirror effect. The atmosphere acts as a reflective mirror of intentions. The outer world and our experiences are seen as a reflection or resonance of the energies we project and broadcast. By changing the thoughts and intentions we project, we can influence our external reality. Interconnectedness. This framework emphasizes an inseparable connection between human beings and the cosmos, where individual consciousness becomes an expression of a greater universal consciousness. We are not separate observers, but active participants in the ongoing creation of reality through our awareness and focus. In essence, this contemplation proposes a feedback loop. Our thoughts shape the field, and the field mirrors those patterns back as our lived experiences, underscoring the power of focused attention and intention in personal and collective existence. The idea that the atmosphere responds to our thoughts and intentions draws on concepts from various spiritual traditions, metaphysics, and New Age philosophy. This perspective posits a universal, interconnected field that acts as a medium for consciousness and a mirror for human intentionality. Contemplation on the atmosphere as a mirror of consciousness. This contemplation explores the premise that all of existence is immersed in a unified field, variously named the ether, akasha, or collective consciousness. This field is not merely a passive void, but an active, responsive medium that registers and reflects human thought and intention. The unified field, ether and akasha. The concept of a unified, all-pervading ether or akasha has roots in ancient Eastern philosophy and was adopted by Western esotericism, such as theosophy. Akasha, Sanskrit for space or sky, is described as the fundamental fabric of space, an all-encompassing information field where all events, thoughts, and emotions throughout time are vibrationally encoded, often referred to as the Akashic records. This field is the energetic substratum connecting all living beings, an interconnected oneness that exists as pure potential and information. Thoughts as subtle energy. Within this framework, thoughts are not just ephemeral mental events but subtle forms of energy, frequency, and vibration. These energetic projections radiate outward from the individual mind and project into the universal field. This perspective aligns with ideas that the universe functions in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and that understanding these dynamics is key to understanding reality. The atmosphere as a mirror. The central idea is that the atmosphere, or this universal field of consciousness, acts as a literal mirror, reflecting the attention and energy offered to it. The external reality experienced is not a fixed, objective world, but a reflection of internal states and projected thoughts. This mirroring effect operates on a principle of resonance, where the field matches the vibration of the thoughts and intentions projected into it. By focusing attention and intention, an individual influences the manifest world, as the field processes and reflects the intentions offered to it. Implications: this concept suggests profound personal responsibility. By cultivating positive, clear intentions and mindful attention, individuals can influence their environment and personal reality, as the atmosphere/field simply mirrors back the energy they radiate. This framework dissolves the perceived separation between internal consciousness and the external world, viewing both as modulations of a single, universal field.